The problem of eliminating the profound tyranny of insecurity in Nigeria required communication-based solution. Neither military build-ups, nor military defense summits, nor exchanging of ministers of defense had done as much as quelling terrorism as information seeping through formation cracks. Information is the ultimate key to personal, political, and security freedom. The very word information weighs nothing, but everything at the same time. Every serious country that prioritizes on security must be able to separate worldly illusion and ultimate truth. The futile bless and obsolescence method of using terrorism to combat the same is fast rendering the country into a retrograde entity incapable of the modern ways to challenge insecurity. As the bucolic atavistic methods are applied, they will metastasized in different ways all over the country. In the north, it's called banditry, north central, herdsmen. In the southwest, kidnappers and sometimes organ harvesters, while the southeast struggles with unknown gunmen. The south has long been captured by the militants. These idiosyncratic hodgepodges are all the same. They all bore the same calamitous debilitation to our national security. Operating with the same AK-47 rifles, kidnapping as a source of revenue, and wielding massive upheaval in our essence of existence, such as agriculture, social and economic lives. The obnoxious Stockholm Syndrome, where a crime victim starts to identify with his oppressors because he is frightened to see them as they are, radiates among us presently. Some kidnapped victims had metamorphosed into informants for kidnappers after being stripped of all their livelihoods. Life generally is imperfect. After all, some still clamored that the 19 billion used to construct the second Niger bridge was a colossal waste and corruption. The reason being that the money could genuinely have lifted the poor of the society. Likewise, the homohaging money, which had been exponentially poured into securing life and properties of the citizens. These outrageous funds, non-existent in the main core of the insecurity challenges that overwhelm the society. Recently, the Global Terrorism Index has placed Nigeria on the 10th position in terrorism in the whole world. So, what really happened to all these Odu funds budgeted for insecurity in the country? The disheartening report supposedly meant that we are not moving forward, but retrograding in all ramifications. Amnesty International Project 2025 carried us a sanguinary news that more than 10,000 Nigerians have lost their lives to attacks by armed groups in several states like Benue, Plateau, Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto, Kebbi, Imo, Anambra, and Edo states. In some parts of Nigeria, emergency of new armed groups called the Lukarawa was no longer news. These idiots, maniacs, and cold-blooded zealots found new problems and embarrassment to the already inundated security agency in Nigeria. Hatred has now become Nigerians' favorite pastime because everybody has turned into a potential suspicious misfit in the society. Some of our present methods are poison seeds in our national defense system. The bipolar question of mediators becomes indelicate and off-putting. These Maroons that acted as mediators in terrorist kidnaps have turned tactlessness into a disarming quality. They knew frequently fraternize with terrorists. Therefore, they could be regarded as nothing less than sponsors. We need a more intellectual approach, not emotional reactions that bordered on illogical sentiments to fight insecurity. The frenetic need for logical action stares us on the face. Let us approach this obliterating insanity with reasonability. The bitter truth is that a mediator is a vibrant terrorist, no matter his status in the society. Though seen not to be corrupt as a religious scholar, but he is corruptible. He belongs to the same venomous Aphidian family of terrorists. The mediator is too dangerous and too immoral to dwell among us. It boils down to a sadomasochistic ritual to allow a raw terrorist to negotiate for our kidnapped victims. He could serve better as a contact point to capture the kidnappers and release the poor victims without ransom. Intelligence and morality exude fundamental fiesty methods of unraveling the challenges of insecurity. The fictitious security slang, say what you see, basically rely on morality of the society, orientation of the populace to inculcate good social behavior in their attitudes could resurrect patriotic spirit to assist the security agents. But the Machiavellian intrigues and treacheries inherent in our security agents profoundly discourage the liberal approach method. As great buttresses of authority in the edifice of the society, the security agents are supposed to be affable and trustworthy. Obedience to law permits civilization to exist. But when that law is commercialized and twisted of shape to serve a wicked civilization, it becomes a scornful irony. Some security agents treat the law the way touts in the garage treat drivers. They sell the law to the highest bidder. Every security agent on uniform exudes a point of pride that is utterly erroneous in life. The possession of weapons makes them assume self-delusions that took them down paths. They feel God among men, though these absurdities are only preponderant when they are among defenseless civilians. The cold malignity under their faces allows no room for free communication. There is always a sense of certain and horrible disaster around them. They are pompous and mean-spirited individuals that lack the social behavior and civilized feeling of public servants. Expert security analysts have advocated for more intelligence application in security challenges. They've opted for a set of strong legislative laws and standards of managing the operation of key recovery centers. The modern technology in the world today has made security management a digitable process that allows more efficiency in curbing insecurity. The recovery centers are essentially private banks where government deposit the digital key codes to their data scrambling software. All the secret confidential intelligence concerning the hotspots of insecurity are supposed to be assembled in these recovery centers. There is nothing that will compel a key recovery center in one country to turn its key over to another, even if the nation requesting them can prove they are needed to counter a threat to the security. These recovery centers enhance confidential information dissemination among the security agents. They are enormously efficient in a patriotic civilization where the importance of information is highly regarded. It could be a walking tragedy in an inefficient environment. A terrorist group with sophisticated electronic equipment could theoretically cripple a gross vulnerable state like Nigeria, where every wall is porous. The terrorist group could even disable security agents, their computers, while the Defense Ministry is wrestling over what legitimately can and can't be done constitutionally. Information gathering works as a glue in fractious predicament like Nigeria, where every law is susceptible to political jargon. Ethnic prejudice and religious bigotry compromise every rational effort to curb insecurity in Nigeria. Imperative information shared among security agents have a way of being sabotaged because of ethnic hatred. They leak like rusty pipes and have contributed immensely to the vulnerability of our security formations. Several abysmal sanguinary ambushes that obliterated our military formations in northern fronts are caused by ethnic hatred. We have strange proclivities of not investigating the profiles or dossiers of our military leaders. These delicate sublime probes bring to forth the hidden excesses of these individuals who are trusted with our lives and properties. In a saner civilization, self-indulgence such as illegitimate children could disqualify a security agent. Also, aberrations like radical student activity is counted an offense in appointment of such people in buttresses of authority. Family threats, drug addiction, divorces, and other subtle recalcitrances are considered in selection of security leaders. The suffocating conundrum is that these offensive attributes are grossly applauded among us. They are regarded as eligibility syndromes in our society and presently forming a problematic embarrassment in Nigeria. The abnormal use of underhanded methods to appoint security officers in sensitive positions contributed immensely toward retrograding debasement in security challenges. Some of these obnoxious personnel are poison seeds in our national defense system. They exponentially contaminate the good seeds and consistently expose them to danger. Another imperative hindrance to security is the assembly of vultures called governors. These self-made emperors are voracious for money, self-indulgent, unfaithful, and untrustworthy. There is big morass of animal behavior in embezzlement of security allocations entrusted to them. They are source of threats to security challenges in the country. It is no longer news that a former governor of Anambra State pocketed security allocation meant for the state and was eventually arrested by the EFCC. This is the disastrous assemblage of irresponsible, uncivilized people who lack social behavior and had wrote themselves into history by massive election rigging and the service treasuries of the government. They lack feeling of affection for their fellow men by embezzling security allocation and rendering their states vulnerable to malignant criminalities. The villainous deprivations are conspicuously written all over Nigeria, all over the states of Nigeria, where insecurity has become a way of life. Now, suddenly, a new lease of life is offered to Nigerian insecurity catastrophe. It arrives as though a hurricane operating every profound secrecy and making the Nigerian leaders grow goosebumps. In the eating Senate, the speaker has fallen over the cracked structure of the deputy, and the presidency is shaking like leaf caught in stormy wind. Trump has blown his trumpet, and the false buttocks is completely exposed. Let's welcome Trump, for he has come to heal our procrastinating syndrome.